I'm from Nekota and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Stanley Goodler and I'm from Australia, but I'm part Fijian from Rugby, and I love listening to Today FM Rocks.
For the best music and less talk, we tune into Today FM in National Village. Today FM rocks.
My name is Inaya Ali and I'm from Ba, and I love the big breakfast on Today FM. I just love it and hope you love it too.
My name is Jay from La Paz. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Naushin and I'm from Sambeto, and I love Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Good evening, I'm Amrita Priyadarshini and this is FPC News. Tonight, large earthquake recorded near Fiji. Tsunami warning sees hundreds of people fleeing to higher ground. And stationery costs alarm parents in the lead up to new school year. A 7.2 magnitude earthquake was recorded near Fiji just before 11 a.m. today. The quake triggered a tsunami warning for all low-lying coastal areas of Fiji, which was cancelled over an hour later. The earthquake struck at about 10:53 a.m., 10 kilometers below the surface. The epicenter was situated 221 kilometers west of Vunisea, Kandavu. Now, as news spread of the potential tsunami threat, people in Suva began to evacuate and move to higher ground. However, at one point in time, traffic became the issue as cars and taxis caused traffic jams. Shireen Shivan reports.
This was the scene at the height of the evacuation. People jumping into their cars to get to higher ground. Eventually, traffic was backed on all roads leading out of Suva. As news spread, office buildings in the capital city began to empty, people walking to safety. Large crowds gathered outside the Salvation Army and Peninsula Hotel, which were designated evacuation centers for some offices.
Trying to prepare ourselves, vacate our office, and it was pretty good, our response time to the tsunami warning.
The rush to get out of Suva caused traffic jams and also posed a risk to pedestrians along Magraga Road.
There's a lot of traffic jam, and people are going up to higher places. You should just walk up instead of taking the cars.
These tourists were among the crowds and say it was good to see people adhering to safety precautions.
I should have a system, I was just thinking, where all the lanes go up and none go down. Everyone should be getting out.
As people stood around waiting, many were on the phone checking on loved ones or letting them know that they were safe. The warning was cancelled at around 12:15 p.m. and business returned to normal shortly afterwards. Shireen Shivan, FBC News.
And despite a 7.2 magnitude earthquake and a tsunami alert that got people moving to higher ground around the capital, no early warning sirens were sounded. FBC News spoke to staff as well as the Permanent Secretary of Mineral Resources, Malakai Finau, who said it was advisable to move to higher ground as a precautionary measure. But as Roland Koroi reports, the minister responsible said there was no reason for people to move.
This was the scene at around midday today as people scrambled to higher ground around the capital. At the Suva foreshore was this woman, clearly unaware of what was happening until we told her.
I didn't know there was a tsunami warning. Had I known, I would have left a long time ago. I think there should be some sort of warnings along the foreshore so we can be alerted because we are not listening to the radio.
Further on, and this was the scene across from Suva Grammar School. Usually a hub of activity, Maisuva Park was deserted, police and SCC personnel advising people to move to higher ground. Dismac has two early warning sirens, one at Lami and the other at the USP Marine Science Department at Suva Point. Neither were activated, and according to the minister responsible, Inya Seruiratu, there really was no need.
It doesn't mean that every earthquake requires evacuation of people. So we might be overreacting. But the sirens will be activated if the advice that is received.
The Mineral Resources Department says the activation of sirens are out of their control, but maintains it was safer to move.
It's better to be safer at times like that. It's better to be safe than to be sorry, given that it was a local event and the depth was shallow and the magnitude was high.
While there were a few people still visible on the streets of Suva, a majority had evacuated, not taking any chances. Roland Koroi, FBC News.
Parents are once again gearing up for the new school year, and some say they're finding the price of stationery higher than previous years. Shoppers say they've had to spend outside their budget to get what's on the children's book list. Kelly Vidala reports.
This was the scene today in Suva. People rushing from bookshop to bookshop, ticking off the shopping list. Shop owners say there's been some hike in prices due to the increase in local production cost.
Yeah, it's gonna hit pockets because production cost has gone up. Just about 12 days away from today, so we're expecting a good turnout with a variety of things that we have.
It's been increasing. The parents normally come, they check the price, they say we'll be back, but they never come back because the prices has really gone up. Exercise books are normally locally printed, but the textbooks we normally import it from overseas countries.
All school textbooks are provided by the government, but even then some shoppers say the price of certain exercise books are going up.
The prices of exercise books differ from one another in different bookshops, but the prices of books have slightly increased this year. But I am just buying things for my children whenever I can.
Increase in a few cents, like it's usually $2.10 for a book, 200 pages last year.
I reckon they should shop before Christmas because we're Fijians and we party during Christmas, so buy school stuff.
In a release this week, the Consumer Council advised shoppers to examine the quality and conditions of books and stationeries while purchasing them this busy period. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
After the break on FBC News, illegal fishing getting out of hand. And police hunt for a group of men who assaulted a police officer. Stay with us.
Radio Fiji 1 nandomo ibiti na bonga ni beyani yato
Evi nakabeyaw Radio Fiji 1 ndomo ibiti na bonga ni beyani na evangolite rakiraki.
Ke mami na marama ni Northland. Ke mami na utaleta na Radio Fiji 1 nandomo ibiti na bonga ni beyani yato.
Na Radio Fiji 1 nandomo ibiti na bonga ni beyani.
Welcome back to FBC News. The Fisheries Ministry is conducting a joint operation with the Fiji Police Force and the Navy to stop illegal fishing. Fisheries Minister Semi Korelavisau says local fishermen have gotten out of hand. Ali Kimbia reports.
Fisheries officers who try to stop illegal fishing are being threatened, leading the ministry to seek help from the police and Navy.
When our own fisheries officers carried out patrols, they are threatened by the fishermen themselves because they have spear guns and weapons of shot. But then we have now gone to the Navy and the police.
Korelavisau says illegal fishing is centered in the maritime areas. Fishermen from the mainland find it easy to poach from isolated areas, mostly undetected. Korelavisau admits it's hard to manage due to the vast areas of sea that have to be monitored.
In the urban centers where they have fast fiberglass boats, they go out to the islands in Lomeviti, even in the Mau waters. They go down to Kadavu and Banga, and they go out and especially at night.
The next step is to license fish sellers or middlemen to get more information on where their stock is coming from. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
Police Commissioner Brigadier General Sitiveni Gilaho has sent out a warning for people not to retaliate against officers doing their work. This comes after one of their officers was attacked at his home in Dombati, Nasinu last night. Giliho has also directed his team to step up the search for the men who pelted policemen with stones in Tamavoy Y last month.
Last night, we had an incident where one of our police officers had arrested two drunkard personnel who failed to pay their taxi fare, and one was released. The one that was released went and got a group of 9 people and went to the residence of that police officer when he went off duty and assaulted him. I've said before, we'll not take these attacks lightly, and I've tasked our ready action unit to be deployed into that area and to round up the 9 people by last light tonight, and also to go into Tamavoy Y and find the person who stoned my police officer while executing his duties there. It's a warning to the people that think that attacking my police officers will go unchallenged, that we will come for you and we will take you through the legal process.
A businessman and 2 police officers charged by the Fiji Independent Commission Against Corruption for alleged bribery and abuse of office appeared in the Suva Magistrates Court today. Businessman Bharat Jogia faces bribery charges, and his lawyers have asked for time to file submissions objecting to audio recording being used as evidence. Magistrate Sagit Somaratna has given 7 days. Second accused, Corporal Samuela Dakuitonga, is charged with 2 counts of accepting bribery, and third accused, Superintendent Iferemi Savo, is charged with abuse of office. The matter is adjourned to January 11th. Students at the University of Fiji who have to travel long distance no longer have to worry about transport. The university and Classic buses have made a deal to provide free transportation to the Lautoka campus. The buses, which have University of Fiji signage, will transport hundreds of students who live in Ba, Lautoka and Nambi. Vice-Chancellor Professor Prem Misir says the service, running from Monday to Friday, is expected to start mid-February when the new semester begins.
The initiative is also to help the staff and students of the University of Fiji to defray the cost of transportation to ease access to the university.
Let's catch up with Jamie to see what's the latest in sports.
Nakam Rita, and good evening. Up ahead in sports, Gareth Baber has his first run with Fiji's Sevens team. And local players working hard to earn a spot in the Fiji Mbati World Cup squad. This and more coming up.
It's me, Simsta here, right from the Rekedeki town. और सुबह ब्रेकफास्ट शो में मैं सुनता हूँ. जब ब्रेकफास्ट शो में रहता है अश्लील और संगीता के साथ, किसी के साथ सुनते सुनते 11 से 2 भाभी दी का शो जितेन शामिल. You know something? Rekedeki मिर्ची FM is hot.
मैं हूँ श्वेता, दुर्गुशा नर्सरी से. लोग देखते हैं ईद का चांद, लेकिन मेरा चांद तो मिर्ची FM है.
हमारा नाम जाबिर है, हम कोर्निविया नसोरी में रहता है. मिर्ची FM हम सब टाइम सुनता है. मिर्ची FM बहुत जुलूम है. मिर्ची FM is hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Coach Gareth Baber got straight into the thick of things at his first training session with the Vodafone Fiji 7 squad in Pacific Harbour today. In only his second day on the job, Baber seems very comfortable in his new environment. Vasnil Prasad has more.
His first contact with the team, national coach Gareth Baber is slowly making his mark with the Fiji Sevens players.
A real local language I'm going to pick up in a day, but hopefully moving forward, obviously I will. It's important that I'm able to communicate with the players and they feel comfortable with me, and that's a big part of it.
Baber got involved in the training run with the players. He also shared knowledge with skipper Osea Kolinisau, who is a link between him and the players.
You're helping us inside. Because inside they're focusing on
Oscar's got a job to do, as have the other senior players as well, but equally amongst the group everybody's got to put in. It's a team for a reason, and obviously the dynamic that they have as a group and what gets us victories will be based on everybody's input.
The former Hong Kong Sevens coach has its own system and hopes to improve certain areas of the team before the Wellington and Sydney tournaments.
A little bit in terms of creating pressure on opponents. Obviously in the last tournament, couple of tournaments, got ourselves in good positions where we didn't finish teams off, and we've talked about it already, and I think that we'll look at that and what we can do to make that happen going into the next two.
Osea Kolinisau, Chasa Veremalua and Jerry Tuai seem to take bigger roles while training with Beba. However, FD Savenadarawa could need more time to get back to his original form.
Aspects I'll be looking at will be consistency, ability to play at high intensity and be accurate when we're under fatigue.
Beba seems to be doing things right from day one. Fans will be watching closely how the bond between the coach and the players develops in time to come.
He was trying to play the ball. Who could see the pitch?
Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
A busy 2017 Rugby League season is about to kick off, and the Vodafone Fiji residents have wasted no time preparing for it. The local players look forward to what the new season holds, with some exciting tours, the upcoming Battle of the Mbati, and of course the Rugby League World Cup. Meli Tavanga has more.
Rugby League Development Officer Etonia Nawasitawa says the team had been preparing during the off-season.
Continue with our off-season now. It's 4 weeks now. After the game against Bala, the last game in November. So,
for 25-year-old Etuateng Yoni Madawa, a resident player, being part of the squad is a milestone achievement.
It was a great honor to be on the side coached by John Dakwitonga. I really appreciate him for selecting me to be part of the Fiji residents team and vice captain as well. It's not a really easy job for me.
Gioni Madawa, who travels all the way from Verata Tailevu to Rambuka Gym in Suva every day, says he's made a lot of sacrifices in the off-season.
Most of the time I just forget about breakfast and everything. I just wanted to be here on time. Like, I don't want to be late in training because I have something, I have my aim and my goal, and that is for me to achieve it, and that's why I did that.
He says training during the festive season wasn't as hard as he had expected.
During this festive season, I'm not really into this festive season, like, because I have something this year, 2017, which is my aim is to represent the Fiji team for the World Cup. So I try to be move far away from my friends, my mates, and just stop being carried away and going for parties.
Gioni Madawa adds he's more focused on pre-season matches and the Fiji residents' test matches. Meli Tawanga, FBC Sports.
Netball Fiji is impressed with young players vying for a spot in the national under-21 side for the Digital Punjas International Youth Netball Series next week. Baby Pearl's assistant coach Philo Korvulavula says the girls have shown good outcomes during the training sessions as they prepare for very tough matches against New Zealand and Australia next week. The series is part of the team's preparation for the World Youth Netball Championships in Botswana in July.
We have 16 at the moment, so we have a big squad. After this, we're going to go back to the big squad and pick the best 12 to represent Fiji in Botswana.
Mighty Mike Van Gerwen secured his second World Darts Championship in a jam-packed arena in London yesterday with a record of 42 180s recorded and some mid-game drama. The match was one for the history books. After a frustrating wait, tennis great Serena Williams finally played her first match in Auckland. Organisers had to squeeze the schedule after rain disrupted games on Monday night. Williams started a bit rusty, but she didn't disappoint. This from TVNZ. We apologize. We won't be able to bring you that story. That's it from sports this evening. It's back to Amrita now with business.
HFC Bank plans to deepen retail banking in 2017 with its main branch opening at Ganilao House in the heart of Suva. The Nakasi branch will relocate from Tembara Plaza to the new Roops Bazaar complex. Chief Executive Ross Munn says both branches are expected to open by April, providing more accessibility to retail and business customers, as well as extended hours at the new Nakasi branch. HFC Bank is also exploring the possibility of setting up an office in Ba. Cloudy conditions with patches of heavy rain were the order of the day around the country. All centres across Fiji recorded 32 degrees. Now for tomorrow, more persistent rain is likely to develop in the east, while other areas are expected to be dry. Looking further on to Friday, you can expect a fairly cloudy day accompanied by scattered showers across the nation. At sea, east to northeast winds 15 to 20 knots and moderate to rough seas are expected. Recapping the main stories, 7.2 magnitude earthquake recorded 221 kilometers west of Kandavu. People evacuate following tsunami warning. And police hunt for a group of 10 men who assaulted a police officer last night. For these stories and others, tune in daily to our sister radio station, Gold FM. Now to the poll question. Should the residential and ground rent freeze be lifted? To answer, visit our FPC website. Well, you can also send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email, citizenseyes@fpc.com.fj, or share it with us via our Facebook page, FPC News. Or you can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FPC News or simply #FPC News. Until next time, I'm Amrita Priyadarshini. Good night.